Capricorn, how you guys doing? This is your weekly tarot card reading from Born Without Boundaries Tarot. And it is for Capricorn, Sun, Moon, and Rising signs, however it applies to your chart. And check out your Sun, Moon, and Rising videos. God, there's so much to say. Let's just get to the reading. Capricorn. Oh, I'm sorry. For those of you who are new to the channel, I know there's a lot of new people coming in, which is wonderful. Welcome. I am Michelle Sanigate, an astrologer, as well as a tarot card reader and intuitive healer. I use my psychic intuition to help heal, hopefully inspire, and definitely to share power and say, here's the power, take it, and just make your life beautiful and great and wonderful and be happy most days, you know? So that's the goal that we have here. This is the Capricorn tarot card reading. Okay, so there's a lot of stuff that's going on, and honestly, it's beautiful. It's really not bad stuff. But remember, nice is different than good, and just because it's not easy doesn't mean it's difficult. And if I could speak to, I'm sorry, just because it's difficult doesn't mean it's bad. And if any sign knows that, it's you guys, right? In fact, you are so far the opposite, right? You try to make shit difficult just so you can actually feel like you've earned something, right? That's that Saturnian influence on you, and that's to be expected. But ultimately, you understand that just because it isn't easy doesn't mean it's not worth it. And can I please pray with you right now that all of you will hold on to that truth, because you will very much need it through this energy. Why? No, this isn't a big old red flag that your world is coming apart. I think your world is very beautiful right now. It is changing, which isn't no, it's not even changing. It is, let's put it, it's almost like slipping out of the honeymoon period. And I don't mean that this is a romance reading. I mean that for all aspects of your life, you're slipping out of the romance period, the honeymoon period. Like, say you just got a new job, or, you know, your job was feeling so good, but now it's just like, now the reality is setting in. Okay. And reality is reality. It is a part of our experience as humans. It is the three-dimensional world that we live in, the three dimensions we perceive. And that's fine with our five senses. That's what reality is. It's the three dimensions that we can perceive with our five senses. That's what it is. And that's part of our truth, and I don't want to underestimate how important it is. I don't think the universe would have created the 3D reality if it wasn't an important experience. And as an astrologer, as a tarot card reader, as a spiritual worker, I think this is a beautiful experience, right? And Saturn rules this. Right? That's what it is. And sometimes what's called the devil's realm. I don't agree with that either. I think that it's a beautiful part of our existence, and it's something that we must honor. It is not the entirety of your existence. And you know that. And I think over this past, say, year, especially year and a half, your spiritual understanding, your opening has been happening. And that's something to not only love and admire, but be happy about. And you're not going to lose it just because reality is smacking you in the face right now. In fact, you need it even more. You need that faith in what is bigger, the bigger picture, what is greater than you, whether it is faith in God or faith in a relationship or faith in an idea. Remember, Saturn is still in Aquarius, so there's this concept of ideals and public ideals and social ideals. Whatever it is that's motivating you outside of yourself, and reminding you that yes, reality is important, and reality might be biting a little bit right now, but ultimately, Capricorn, it is you can deal with it. You're not going to lose that connection. Spirit doesn't want you to disconnect any more than you want to. And it is still very beautiful of an experience that you're having. So just because things are kind of wonky right now does not mean that they are not worth continuing. And I think that that is the pervasive energy and vibration that I am picking up for you. I am looking for my cards. Yes, let's start with Capricorn, 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 Capricorn. Learn from the past. And this has come up in almost every single reading. For you, this is very, very, forgive me. For you, Capricorn, this energy of elephant spirit is, they always say elephants never forget, right? This is literal. I want you to really focus on learn from the past. In other words, you really have learned it's going to help you is what I'm saying. That this is ultimately a tether to help you continue from where you are now. Because you've seen decisions you've made, choices you've made in the past. Understanding that, they may have been more fun and easier in the beginning. A lot of times things that feed easy, like the sugar rush or the drug high or the alcohol or the sex, things that give us instantaneous gratification. But what do they really hold for us long term? And this is the understanding. This is that steadfast earth energy of elephant that reminds us it is the long term. It is the family. We're going to get a little bit into family too, because that's part of it for you right now. It is the family. It is what is truth, what is real, what is most important, not the instantaneous gratification. Now, family, because elephants speak to family, very matriarchal hierarchy with big bull elephants usually walking away from the pack and standing outside of it. It's usually the females that hang out, right, and that hold down. I don't know if they call it a herd. I'm not a biologist, right? But what I'm saying is there's just this sense of family right now that's very important to you. Hold true to that. Let that be your steadfast. Let that be your tether. I feel that you need one right now, and that's a good place to start. Family. There's also a sense of feeling like you have to defend your family for some reason. Now, there could be many different reasons, but there is a sense of being overly defensive toward family. Perhaps you feel somebody's in danger. Perhaps you feel that the family itself is not being respected or treated the way that you want to see it treated. Or that you have to really defend somebody. This is, I think, a place that your brain is going to go to very easily. But red flag. The defensiveness toward the family may be a reaction toward the difficulties that you're facing now that you really don't want to face. A sense of, I'll deal with this so I can, be protective, and I can, almost make an excuse for my energy, right? I'm defending my family. But are you... And that's fine, but it's almost like you're avoiding something else. There's something that you need to realize or accept. What is that? All right, that's a fair question. I can just feel it. Capricorn. Learn from the past. Learn from the past. Watch your words. Interesting. And then we have be peace. Air energy. Your absolute opposite. Oh, shit. Really interesting. Well, you know, Uranus is in Taurus, very opposites. Saturn is in Aquarius. Saturn rules your sign, very opposite. And now, and Venus, well, Venus isn't really opposite Capricorn, is it? What does this mean? First of all, there are conversations that you're having with somebody right now that are like battling. They're butting heads. And that's kind of what this elephant energy is. Let me show you the cards. I'm sorry, guys. That's really what this elephant energy is. You're butting heads with somebody. You're butting heads with somebody in defense. But in defense of what? What are you defending? Is what you're defending, does it really need defense? Or do you just want to be defensive because the truth about a situation is other shit is pissing you off? And so getting to the truth of what's really upsetting you and really what's making you angry is very, very important. Remember, anger is just part of our defense mechanism. It really is. It's not the actual problem. In other words, anger is a reaction. So what is it reacting to? What's causing you to react that way? That's what's really, really important right now. There are conversations that need to be had. Discussion or talk therapy is really recommended. I took a peek at your chart, Capricorn. And a lot of big energy is happening in your third house. Your third house is naturally Pisces, right? Naturally meaning first house Capricorns. Now, your sun sign might not be in your first house, but first house Capricorn, your Pisces, and this would be energy that affects all Capricorns. Your third house falls then in Pisces, right? So what is the house of Pisces? Well, essentially, it's an interesting house to have in communications because it's a very dreamy energy to have in communications. And it's difficult. But it also, a lot of times in conversations, it also makes you very psychically intuitive when it comes to things that people are saying and the subtext of what they're saying, right? So ultimately what it is you're able to pick up on things. You can feel things. You can understand things that maybe aren't being said. And even though you may want to fight, right, and get angry at something, you also can understand the different point of view, even if it's not being correctly expressed to you. The issue is, I think, needing to see. It's one thing to know and always feeling like you're compromised because you know and you're taking the extra steps, but somebody else isn't. You're wanting to see the extra steps, right? This is be peace. You are finding the right words or watching your words or feeling like you have to swallow your words to always be the one that makes the peace. Be the keeper of the peace, right? Be the one that makes sense out of the situation. Be the one that makes things work. But it's almost like, okay, I'm tired of doing the work. And I know that's not really, you got to push a Capricorn pretty damn far to ever get them to say, I'm tired of doing the work. But this is an actual work, right? This is work within our relationships, within our friendships or personal relationships, one-on-one conversations. That's kind of what it is. Having a lot of difficulty and finding defensiveness happening in one-on-one relationships. This could be with your parents, your children, within your family, within people that you consider family, your spouse. But it's almost like just really feeling like somebody ain't listening, somebody ain't getting it. And if I actually told them what I was thinking right now, because I really, really want to, I would steamroll the situation and ultimately break it. And so to keep the peace, I can't speak up. And what a really uncomfortable place that is getting you to. What a really uncomfortable place to be in. So first I want you to step back and I would suggest that you realize clearly this matters a lot to you, right? And sometimes just remembering that who we're dealing with really does matter to us, looking at that bigger picture is very important in situations like this because it's almost like I want to steamroll this motherfucker. But remember what they, like, remembering that they're not just assholes. Maybe they're acting like assholes now, but they're not just assholes. They're actually a lot more than that. So remember all that they are is very important. But also, talking is very important right now. This is Gemini energy. You know, and feeling that it's like something is being stifled. Somebody is just, or you, I think especially, is just repeating what you think they want to hear because you're afraid to speak your mind, right? And ultimately, that ain't going to work for long. I'm just going to say it. Like, that's not, it may be keeping the peace right now, but it's not actually building peace that can be relied upon. And that's actually what's really making you feel secure. You know that these are just Band-Aids, and you are not the Band-Aid type, right? You are the let's go in, dig it all out, gut the motherfucker, totally like refurbish the dirt that's in, and lay a new foundation. That's what you are. And so that's going to help a lot. Grounding yourself through breath. That's why we have air here, right? There's a lot of air, and there's a lot of churning and fantasticalism in your communications house right now. Jupiter, however, is now in Pisces, and that is a really good thing, meaning that there's an openness, there's a broadening, there's an expansion, there's a seeing the different dynamics, there's trusting, there's faith, there's connecting to God, and using that God space, right, to help guide you through these conversations that need to be had. It's also taking a higher perspective, which is why I said maybe counseling, right? Maybe therapy, maybe a mediator that doesn't even have to be a professional mediator. Maybe somebody, you know, just outside the situation could come in and help, right? You really want that in your situation right now, because it's going to grow. It ain't going to go anywhere. You've got to do something with it, because there is a sense of getting really defensive. Adjustments are required. You're telling me. I don't think there's anything new to you. Adjustments are required, but they're not just required from you. And if you've been feeling that you're the only one making these adjustments, you're correct about that. Adjustments are required. Watch your words. Be peace. I just don't feel it, yo. I don't feel you feeling peace. And that's what concerns me. Hold on. Capricorn. Tell me about this person. Can you please? So life is good. Material harvest is here. You don't want it compromised. You like to be where you are materialistically right now, and that's good. That's good. Remind yourself of the goodness about it, but also you don't want it to be a trap, right? You don't want to not be able to be yourself, to have to secure all the creature comforts, right? You don't want that. You don't want that. I know you don't want that. I'm not telling you don't want that. I know that you don't want that. It's not going to be good enough for you. And then we have patience and planning. So you rushed into something. It's telling me right now, I'm not trying to make judgments on y'all, but it's saying that you rushed into something based on money, based on finances. I ain't saying she a gold digger, and I'm really not. I'm not saying you're a gold digger, but it's almost like you did make a choice that was financially responsible, or you felt it was financially responsible, or maybe it was financially risky. Either way, there wasn't enough thought given, and that may be making you also feel vulnerable right now with this situation, especially if there's family concern, because ultimately now there's another vulnerability, which is financial, and y'all don't like to be financially vulnerable. I know you don't. I know you don't. And it's almost like, okay, fools rush in. Material abundance is still up, it's still good, but now there's all these other issues, and now I'm trying to defend what I have materialistically, which I want to hold on to, but ultimately there's all these other issues, and oh shit, I'm having an oh shit moment. Okay, I understand that. And then we have base chakra and rest and rejuvenate. What did I say to you? Maybe I didn't fully say it, so I apologize. You need to get grounded. And with all this air energy here, first way to ground yourself and touch something. Like, let your feet touch your feet. Like, let your feet be totally in the ground on the earth. Like, hold on to a desk. Like, really touch something. I want you to be able to feel that there is something holding you up. This is very important for your practice right now. Get that air in your lungs and ground your words. This will help you ground your communications and your sense of self and your brain before you speak, right? So that you can speak effectively. That's a good word for you guys. So you can speak effectively. And that's what's necessary right now, because you don't want to hold back, but you also don't want to like punch a motherfucker. So what you want to do is be able to speak effectively, and that breath is going to really help you right now. Ooh, looky. Ooh. Okay. These are major challenges, you guys. These are challenges and conflicts of the mind, because we have triumph and success, but it's followed up by trapped in fear. You don't want to lose the ground you've gained. You don't want to lose the ground you've earned, and you feel like it is at risk. And by what you're feeling right now, right? By what you're perceiving and what you know is happening. And listen, just because you're correct and the ground is compromised, it doesn't mean this is a hopeless situation. That is why I'm trying to help you ground your brain through breath. And the more you ground your brain, the more flexible it will become, so that you can let in those new ideas. You need the new ideas so much now. And I said that in the channeled message, right? That sense of you need to understand outside yourself right now, because that's where the flexibility, the malleability, and the, oh my God, we could do this is going to come from. Because if you stay in this position of desperation, fear, anger, and you decide, I just got to hold that all back, that's going to make you stuck. And that's going to like almost like turn you to rock, and you're not going to have that flexibility to move around. Let's continue in tarot. We're going to dig deeper. I love this conversation with you guys. And oh, what do I always say at the end? Please remember to like this video and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And then share it on your social media platforms. I will see you guys in the extended.